You know what's strange? Some of the most unsettling moments in our lives don't happen because of a loud argument or a sudden betrayal. They happen in the quiet spaces between a person's words and their actions. You've probably felt it before, that subtle, nagging feeling in your gut that something isn't quite right when someone says they care, yet their actions quietly pull away. The most painful part isn't the betrayal itself, it's the moment you realize you didn't see it coming because you were listening to the performance instead of watching the pattern. This is the quiet paradox of human interaction. Most people aren't necessarily malicious, but they are constantly performing. From childhood, we learn the lesson that acceptance is conditional and approval must be earned, so we build social masks to survive. Today, we are going to explore the psychology of the social performance and the 10 signs that someone is playing a role rather than being real. If you've ever felt confused by someone's inconsistency, stay with me because understanding this turns emotional chaos into a steady, unshakable clarity. Sign 1. Their words are a filtered narrative, but their behavior is an unconscious confession. When someone tells you who they are, they're often offering you a narrative, the person they want to be seen as. Words are deliberate, filtered, and designed to protect an image, while behavior is automatic and emerges from habit. You can believe an explanation, but you can only trust repetition because people rarely lie with their habits. Sign 2. There is a wide gap between their intensity and their consistency. A performer can manufacture a high-intensity moment of kindness or loyalty to win your trust, but they cannot maintain the daily architecture of consistency. Real character is quiet and built on repetition. It doesn't need to announce itself because it is practiced. If you want to understand someone, stop listening for intensity and start watching for what they default to when no one is watching. Sign 3. They practice selective kindness based on social leverage. The most reliable way to see through a mask has nothing to do with how someone treats you, but how they treat those who can do nothing for them. Observe how they treat a waiter, a subordinate, or a stranger, because in those moments there is no audience and no performance required. If their courtesy is conditional, it means their kindness is a calculation, and character does not change just because of your proximity to them. Sign 4. Their excuses are psychological smokescreens used to redirect your focus from the pattern back to the explanation. These excuses sound reasonable and appeal to your empathy, but when they become frequent, they stop being explanations and start becoming signals. What matters is not whether the excuse sounds logical, but whether the behavior ever changes. Sign 5. They show a visceral discomfort with the weight of silence. Silence is a threat to the performer because it removes the protection of words and forces awareness inward. When conversation stops, the script disappears, and you'll notice a performer rushing to fill every pause with noise, jokes, or over-explanations. A person grounded in reality is comfortable in the quiet, while a person playing a role feels the pressure of an unanswered moment. Sign 6. Their insecurity leaks out as a constant need for control. Insecurity is a force that never stays hidden. It leaks through tone, timing, and a desperate need to manage every narrative. We often mistake loud opinions or rigid certainty for strength, but these are actually attempts to stabilize a fragile self-image. True confidence is calm and does not need to prove anything, while insecurity is noisy and requires constant external validation. Sign 7. Their true character only emerges under the weight of pressure. Pressure does what comfort never can. It strips away the rehearsal and collapses the performance. Under stress, the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that manages our image, gets overwhelmed and the mind defaults to its true conditioning. Pressure doesn't create your character, it simply reveals the structure that was already there. Sign 8. Their values are limited to value talk with no personal cost. Many people speak confidently about integrity and loyalty, but values are only proven when holding them costs something. A performer uses value talk as intellectual camouflage to gain status without facing the friction of actually practicing those values. If someone's values disappear the moment they become inconvenient, they are part of a role, not a lifestyle. Sign 9. They are chameleons who shift their character depending on the audience. A performer shapes their tone, posture, and even their beliefs to fit the room they are in, choosing safety over truth. It is a dangerous self-deception to believe they're different with me, because character is a consistent internal lens, not a situational adaptation. If they belittle others while being kind to you, they are simply rehearsing how they will eventually treat you. Sign 10. They have disproportionate emotional reactions to small boundaries. Emotional reactions are spontaneous and rise before the mind can polish an image, making them a window into a person's inner structure. When a small disagreement or a simple boundary produces rage or total withdrawal, you are seeing the edge of a fragile self-concept. They aren't reacting to you, they are reacting to a threat against their performance, and overreaction signals where they are unresolved. Understanding that people are performing isn't about becoming cold or cynical, it's about becoming accurate. When you stop believing the act and start observing the pattern, you stop asking, "Why did they do that?" and start saying, "Of course they did." Real power isn't about controlling the performer. It's the quiet, steady power of the calm observer who sees reality without needing to fix it. Once you release the distortion of hope and the need for excuses, the emotional chaos of other people's performances loses its grip on you. In a world full of masks, the most revolutionary thing you can do is to see clearly and give yourself permission to be real.